Good morning. This is Margaret from the University of Sewing, and it's Facebook Live. And I have my buddy here.
Good morning.
Denise is here, and she usually can join us on Fridays, so this is very nice to have her again. We have so much to talk about. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a packed-filled morning here for you. We are going to start off with our cues. Yes, no. Actually, we're going to start off with the shop hop.
Oh,
Let's
that's
talk
fun.
about the shop hop first. Okay, shop hop is happening on June 22nd through the 25th. If you have not bought your passport yet, we have plenty of them here. And they have this really cool little tomato pin with the needles in it, pins in it. It's absolutely adorable.
It's so cute.
And it's only $5 right now for the passport. So that's really cool.
And I love that it's part of a donation project too.
It always is a part of a donation when you are part of this particular shop hop. I don't know what other ones do, but this is called the Shadows of Southern Indiana, and it is a wonderful shop hop. So we're going to participate on that 22nd through the 25th, and we've gotten already a call from the Hamilton County in Ohio Quilt Guild. And they're going to come and visit us on the 22nd.
Oh, now are they one of the groups that has come before to visit us?
Was going to look it up and see because I could not remember, but I am so, that's so
fantastic.
Cool.
We'll be thrilled to have you.
So this lovely woman, Patty, called us up to
Very
let us
sweet.
know they were going to come. So we're thank you for doing that. And we would love to have every quilt guild in the state come and visit us. So please feel free. So we're getting ready for that. But next month, we have a very special event happening. We have Bernina educator Betsy Carlson coming, and we are going to be doing 4 events. They're a half a day each, and one of them is for owners of the long arms. So if you already own a long arm and you want to come to this, Betsy's going to give us some tips and tricks to make your sewing even better on a long arm.
I'm so excited about it.
I just think that's going to be amazing. And then we're going to have another one for those people who think they might want a studio frame or a pro long arm. So this is a studio frame if you're not familiar with it, and it's really cool. And we're going to show you in a minute how cool this is. And then the other ones there's 2, and you can pick them. They're both in the afternoon on Friday or Saturday, and you can sit down at a Q16, a 20, and you can just sit there and play on these we've got a folding up table, which makes it super reasonable.
I love that table.
And then we've got the table that goes up and down, the horn table that's just press a button, and I'll show you that in a second. And we've got the beautiful koala cabinet over here. That cabinet extends out so that you can put your whole quilt on it. Really nice setup. So let's start off with that, and then we're going to get to, I'm not going to forget your overlockers, and we're going to do a demo on the 890 today. I've already got set up for cover stitching, so we're in good shape with that. I'm going to show you today about cover stitching and chain stitching.
I'm going to take lots of notes on that one.
A lot of people don't know how to do those things, and they seem really difficult. On other machines, they have been. But on the new L890, it's not hard. So,
Margaret? I have something in my hand. Something lovely.
I'm sorry. Yes,
I think people like Donna would like to know because she's
I
already
think
shared.
to know why I'm holding this lovely piece that needs a home and how can it have a
This is
good home.
really cool piece from Riley Blake. It has measuring tapes on it across it. It's so cute. And this is part of the She Who Sews line, which we are just totally in love with. And this one has tape measures all over it. It's got a gray background, black writing on it. And you'll not believe this, but they actually are, the tape measure on this actually is accurate, which I thought was fascinating.
Neat idea.
I thought that was
What
fascinating.
a neat idea.
Okay, so we have so much to cover. So let's get going.
So make sure you hit that share button.
Hit the share button.
Let us know that you did.
You have to put in the comments.
Yes.
And we hopefully have some new people watching.
Hello.
We would love to see you sometime. But even if you can't come to the shop because you don't live locally, we have...
You mean like Elaine?
like Elaine.
Good morning, Elaine.
And our friend Debbie and a whole bunch of other people
So many
who
customers.
and they're from all ends of the country. And we want you to know how grateful we are. And so we give this little prize away each week to one of the people who share, because it just means so much to us to be able to contact and connect with the people all over, because I think we have some really special things to offer here. And we want you to know that, you know, even if you don't have a Bernina store locally, it's not close, we'd love to be your Bernina store.
Absolutely. The more the merrier.
Yes, exactly. And we have clothing fabric, and we have quilting fabric, and we have wonderful machines and demos. Now, you do need to, if you live on the West Coast or the East Coast, or you live down south, or you live really far north, you do need to go to your dealer to get a Bernina sewing machine.
Very true. Yes.
So, and if you need help with that and help finding a good dealer, we're happy to help you with that too.
Absolutely.
We
Yep.
really will. We've done it for multiple customers. They've called us and said, well, I saw you demonstrating. I want to buy it from you. Well, you can't unless you're in Indiana. Or you could be like as close as maybe Louisville.
Sure.
You could be there. So, but you really need to purchase from your dealer.
And part of that is so you have that relationship with your dealer, because
Right,
that
because
really
they
is
can
important.
teach you how to use your machine.
Yeah.
Because we aren't there. I'm sorry. That bums me out, because we really want to help you figure out. But we do a lot of videos, demonstrations. We do a lot of really fun things, and we are happy to help you no matter where you are.
Absolutely.
So, and we carry like all the accessories so that you can get those from us. We try to do a really good job of carrying like all of them.
We do.
So like right now with the Overlocker sale, did you know you can get all of your accessory items for your overlockers at 25% off?
It's a fantastic deal.
The feet are for Bernette and our Bernina overlockers. And if we don't have it, we will happily order it for you, and we will not grump at you about it.
No. And that's one of the best deals that Bernina ever offers all year on
Yes,
feet. So
exactly.
Now
Exactly.
is the time to get those.
Yes, wonderful. Okay, so let's take a break and go back to our events. May 13th and 14th, super important. You've got to sign up for these, because, I mean, we only get Bernina educators usually once a year for specific things. And this will be it this year for the Qs. So let's go ahead, and this is our lovely studio frame. We have it set up at a 5-foot length, but you can have it set up at 10.
Either or.
That's
not in
right.
between. You can do
You
either or.
can't. Are we back?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
We had a little technical snafu. Those happen, you know. We're not 20 and we're not
12.
yeah, we have to be like 6 to figure out these iPhones anymore. So anyway, on the screen, it looks a lot like a regular Bernina sewing machine. It's
certainly
amazing. You've got your tension, whether your foot's up and down. You've got a program here that you can set up with. It can have your stitch length and your tension on it. It has a spot to tell you if your bobbin is low. It tells you whether or not your Bernina stitch regulator is on, because it turns green. You've got BSR1, which moves the minute you turn on the machine, it just moves. And so you'll keep sewing no matter what you're doing. So I like BSR stitch regulator number 2.
I like number 2 too.
2 is cool, because what you can do with 2 is you can turn on the machine, and when I move it, it moves. And I'm really not extremely good at this. Denise is much better than I am. So this is it moving, and when I stop, it stops. And see the little red light on there, and see the green light up here? It's still on, so that if I keep on moving, I can go ahead and I can start back again. And then I can go, oh, I want to take a break. And I can go ahead, and I have another button here that I can put the needle in the fabric. I can stop, and I am ready to go whenever I want to start again. And I would recommend stopping with the needle in the fabric if you're going to go back and start again.
Definitely.
Because you can accidentally, you saw how easy that moved. I wasn't struggling with it. Everything was really easy. And the thing I would tell you is that you really can move this so gently. And I'm going to pull that needle back up out of there for a minute. Look at this.
One finger.
One finger. And it just moves, it turns circles, it just moves really nicely. Now this one is a Q16 Plus. It is set up right now not to be connected to a computer yet. Bernina is coming out with a computer assist, the Qmatic, and that will actually be able to program for end-to-end on the 10-foot version of the frame. You will not be able to use the Qmatic with the 5-foot version. I don't really think most people on the 5-foot would really need that so much. You might want it sometimes, but you don't really need it. But the nice thing is you can do a small quilt on a 10-foot frame.
Oh, absolutely.
You can totally do that. So let's go ahead, and Denise is going to show you guys right now how she's got a Q20 here. Look at all this space.
Oh my goodness,
And
I could have a nice big quilt laid out on
One
here.
of the things that can happen with this is there's little pieces of wood that fit in here. You know, like your dining room table where you put the wood in?
You could put snacks down here.
Snacks. That's for your pins.
I need snacks
There's
for my
pins
quilting,
in
Bert.
there. No. So we're not going to do that today, but I'm telling you, you can spread this whole thing out. So if you have the room, that's really cool. But the nice thing about these cabinets, these smaller cabinets, is that look at how little space they take up.
Oh my gosh, you could put
This
this
is-
in almost any room.
This is actually smaller than the space I need for my 880.
Oh, it is, yeah.
So
Yeah.
So everybody, look at this. See how, and this particular, the cabinet and the folding table are so reasonable. You can totally do this. So, and this is free motion. Now, with this one, you have to move the quilt. So
You do. You don't get those nice big handles.
you don't get the handles, you don't get to draw on it the same way. You have to move the fabric. And Denise is using palm paddles by Martelli. And these are really nice because what they do is they hold on to the fabric, they take very little room up, and you can move the fabric around because they're pressed, and you don't have to have gloves on.
No,
And some
the
of us
blades
don't
are
like
nice.
to wear gloves.
You know what the problem I have with the gloves is if I have to rethread, then you have to take them off.
Right, right.
And I don't want to stop to take them off. I'm lucky I want to stop to rethread.
Yeah, exactly. So that's always an
So
issue.
much
Look how
fun.
beautiful a job she does. That's gorgeous. All right, so we've got a beautiful.
So many things that you can do with it.
Well, you know, the thing is you can put a couching foot on these.
Oh, yes.
And with the couching foot, you can actually stitch over top of cording. It's really fun. We're going to learn about that. We're going to learn about ruler work. We're going to learn about, what was some of the other
I
things?
think, are we doing double needle?
We're doing double needle.
Really want to play with the double needle
Yeah,
stuff.
so that is, it's just really wonderful. And you know, usually when you buy one of these, one of the things you can get as an extra option is the big red box.
Oh, right.
And the big red box comes with your double needle, and it comes with your, it's going to
Tons
come,
of goodies.
yeah, it really does.
gosh.
So we will talk more about that in detail closer to the event about some of the deals we're going to have. But if you aren't here, you can't get the deals. How are you
So,
going to do that?
Come visit. Come hang out with us.
Right, it's
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be
fun
fun.
either
It's
way.
only a half a day, unless you want to do both the long arm and you want to do you want to do both?
Well, of course you do. Why wouldn't you? I mean, especially if you're really not sure.
Right. Oh, and this was the table I was talking about, the horn table. Look at this. Now, I don't
It's
probably
magic.
need it this high, but I love that I can stand or I can sit at this table.
And you know what? I wonder if people that have an issue with moving a quilt on a sit down, if they would be more comfortable standing. I wonder if that would make the difference for them.
Well-
if they have space limitations, maybe they can't do a frame.
Right. And
I
I
know.
think this folds out These guys
it
fold
gets
out.
pretty
So
big.
you've got, and there's another part that fits in here.
Oh my goodness.
And so there's a lot of room. There's drawers so that you can get into trouble storing things.
Snacks.
Snacks. Do you think she's hungry this morning? Okay, so this is really cool. And don't forget, if you have the space and the inclination, the long arm. The long arm pro.
I just want to pet it. I want to love on it.
So look how big this is. This will fit your king size quilt. And the really cool part about this, it has the exact same head you saw on the other 3, 4, 5 machines we've got here now. We've got 5 of them now. We do. We have
That's
5.
a lot of long arms,
We
Margaret.
have a lot of long arms here, and
Yeah.
we want to sell one to you.
They need a home. They need homes.
They do need homes. You know what? They're so much happier when they have a mom.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true. Somebody to love on them on a regular basis.
Well, or
That's
a
what they
dad.
need. Or a dad.
Yeah,
Could be
they
any-
need a mom or a dad. They
Right,
just
yes,
do.
yes.
And the wonderful thing is that this one is specifically set up to sew edge to edge, and you program it into a computer. Now, a lot of our customers buy these so they can do work for other people,
They do.
but we do have a number of customers who just buy one because they love to do this.
that would be
Someone
me.
has one of
That
those?
would be me.
Someone
Yes,
has one of
yes,
these.
Yes,
So,
yes, and it is
do
fantastic.
you have a long arm and you don't have the Qmatic for it yet? Do you need a Qmatic? We're going to make all kinds of deals at these events. You've got to come. They're going to be wonderful. Now, we are at the over 15-minute mark, so we've got to
You've got a
head
demo
back.
to do, Margaret.
We've got to go back and
we
do our
gotta point
demo.
out though, lots of people think these are very expensive, and they are.
Actually, it's surprising because the folding table retail only starts at $10,000. So that's not that much more. Well, actually, it's the same price as a $770 plus with embroidery right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that expensive.
And can we take a look at what Dave says?
Oh my goodness, I forgot.
Our thought for the day, Margaret.
Our thought for the day. We have a wonderful quote, and you guys got to see this. It's just perfect. I'll bet you have a wonderful love in your life who has some expensive hobby, and we all forget that, I think oftentimes we take a back seat. Those of us who sew think that our, quote, hobby is expensive until we look at some of the people in our lives.
Oh, true.
Like the people who buy boats, like the people who like to have their bass boats. Do you know how much that bass boat is?
I have no idea what that would run.
Not even a
Not
even a guess.
No, because I don't have a fishing person in my life, so I
Okay.
have no idea.
New, $70,000.
Wow.
80.
80.
80,000.
Holy
Excuse me,
Toledo.
$80,000.
I'm thinking of the sewing room
So-
you could set up with that kind of
You
money.
just remember your Bernina, even if you get the long arm with every bell and whistle it comes with, including they have also
The hydraulic lift.
hydraulic lifts. If you get
Yes.
every single thing, it's way cheaper than that bass
That's
boat.
very true. Very, very, very true. And we haven't talked about delivery and setup, which of
That's
course
right.
we offer.
We offer delivery and setup. And on the long arms, we will go further than we will go with a sewing machine.
Sure.
Because we actually we'll do, like, if you buy the cabinet and the machine and everything, we'll come to your house and bring you everything.
We can go up to 100 miles.
That's right. We can go up to 100 miles
Perfect.
away from our location and sell you a long arm. You were saying it might be expensive, but the 10-foot long arm studio frame, it's only $18,000 with a Q20 on it.
Wow.
This is a wonderful deal. And you just imagine you're not putting all those stress on your shoulders and things. So if that's an issue for
Right,
you,
right.
I mean, there's all kinds of different things we can do, but this is, I think, an incredible deal. I love the size of it. I keep on envisioning having my art quilt, being able to do exactly the quilting I want on it, having it so I can have it. I'm really excited that we have this to offer people because I think this is just an amazing thing. We're not getting our 890 demo done.
All right,
So
off to the serger.
We're
Here.
going off to the 890 demo. So 890s. Oh my God, they're so wonderful. Right now, during the serger sale, if you buy an 890, you're going to get the luggage so that you can take it wherever you want. You are going to get the big book of serging. And let me see. Let me try to think. I feel like I'm missing one thing in that whole deal. I don't remember. Well, you know what? I know on our website, if you go to the sales page, it's on there. So go and look. I want you to see it. I think you're going to be surprised at how wonderful it is. Okay, most of us do not know what cover stitching is. And if you look at the bottom of the t-shirt you're wearing, the stitch that holds up the hem on your t-shirt is called cover stitching. So we're going to pretend that this very bright aqua fabric is going to be your t-shirt hem. We've folded it up. We are going to, by the way, did you know that most knits do not require you to finish the edges? So we're putting this on here. This is, see, I folded it up and it's underneath there. And you would press that gently, pressing, not ironing. You're not going to push on it. So what you would do is you would start here. And oh, by the way, it has a knee lift, so I can just let the foot down. What else is on sale for the 890? Did you hear? I couldn't remember everything.
I did not hear that, but let me find
Okay,
out.
I forgot. I don't know why I don't have the sale flyer with me, but I'm silly. Okay, there we go. We've dropped the foot. We're going to start sewing on this. And so we're just going to go along here. I'm going to make sure that have my edge right there. So we've got that going. This, by the way, the fabric I am sewing on is 100% cotton interlock knit. We're going to lift up the foot. This wonderful tool is going to pull my top threads towards me. I am going to cut those with a pair of scissors. I'm just going to take 2 of them and cut them. This pulls right out. Notice it's left a bottom thread here. This is called a 3-thread cover stitch that I'm doing. Now, look at that, guys. It's a beautiful stitch. It's all ready to go. It's locked. You can also take these threads and you can do a loop with them. And every one of us who sews, we probably know that if you take and hold something at those loops, it will keep it right at the edge of what we're doing. And then we can go ahead and cut this and it is ready to go. Then what you can do with this extra fabric is you would just trim that off with your scissors right above that line of stitching. And there you have a beautiful 3-thread cover stitch. If you did not know what they are, now you do. Look how smart you are. You know what to do with that.
I need to go home and play with that one.
It's such a good stitch, and it's so, this is the only cover stitch machine that I actually end up with it coming out right every time. I've been very, very pleased with this machine in that I've owned cover stitch machines before and they just aggravated me because the threading of the looper for the cover stitch was, you needed a degree in engineering to figure it out. And I'm not
rocket scientist?
I'm not, your rocket science could have figured, he could have figured that out. I sure as heck couldn't, and I would end up getting really frustrated with it and not enjoying it. So, and a lot of times the stitch would just pull out on me because they didn't have this cool tool.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, you could use a pair of scissors, but sometimes they cut the fabric.
Right, that would be my
Or
luck.
not cut the fabric, but I mean, they cut the thread.
The thread, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of aggravating. You know, I was telling you guys the last time, all your tools end up being right on board here. And the other thing about this is it has the computer assist in it. Now, if you've never had a serger with a computer on it, which as far as I know, that didn't exist like this, what you can do with this now is I can tell it, well, I don't want this stitch anymore. And I'm going to go to this group of cover stitch machine because that's where you find your 2-thread chain stitch.
So how many cover stitch options are there?
A lot.
A lot. Wow. Wow.
There looks like there's
Okay.
5.
That's fantastic.
There's 5. There's a 2-thread chain stitch, a 4-thread cover stitch, a 3-thread cover stitch wide and narrow, and a 3-thread cover stitch narrow. I'm not sure what the difference between 22 or 23 and 24 are, but I'm sure we could do a sample and figure that out.
Hey, ladies, before you move on, say goodbye to Vanita. She's been watching, but she said she had to go to work.
Well, go to work, Bernina, but we love
Well, working. Who has to do that? Okay. All right. So
And she said Happy Easter.
well, happy
Easter.
Easter, Vanita, and everybody happy Easter. Okay, we're going to show a 2-chain cover or a chain stitch. Do you know what a chain stitch is?
you. Not a clue.
You know what a chain stitch is, Dave?
Only because you try to teach me how to rip them out.
Some of us are poor students.
Yeah. So on a lot of your clothes, if you look on the inside, specifically jeans, you'll see this.
Oh.
There's a chain stitch that's actually the stitch that holds together the seam. The way it's made is it's made kind of like if you've ever done crocheting.
I tried. It didn't go well. Right,
didn't.
Mom? Right, Mom?
I wasn't
Didn't go
any
well.
good at it either, but I did learn how to do the chain stitch.
Oh.
And that's the one that you just do this little loopy thing, and,
Okay.
and then you can pull one thread and it just comes completely out. I was
Gotcha.
good at that part.
Okay. I could probably take it out. But
So what we're going to do right now is we're going to switch the machine to the chain stitch. So the first thing, this is going to walk me through every step of it. It's
love that
telling
part
me
of this
to lift
machine.
my foot up, which I've done. Then it's going to tell me to unthread my right cover stitch needle and my left cover stitch needle. So we're going to pull those threads out of the needles. And we are going to actually, here, we'll just go ahead and cut that one and cut that one. And then we're just going to
wild
pull.
woman, you cutting
know.
threads willy-nilly.
Oh my God, it's so much. It doesn't scare me on this machine. Okay, then we're going to attach the C13 foot, which is already on the machine. It wants us to change our pressure back to 4. That's a starting place.
Gotcha.
Okay, right cover stitch needle is going to stay in, but the left one is coming out. And so we'll take that out. We're going to screw that screw back in so I don't lose it. I have a neat little place to go ahead and put my needles when I'm not using them. So I have my right cover stitch needle in. We're going to deactivate the knife blade, which was already deactivated because we were doing cover stitching. We're going to adjust our cutting width to 5. That little dial is at the... Can you go ahead and do that, baby? I'm sorry. There you go. All right. So right there is the dial for changing that. All these things are so easy to get to. It has got a cover stitch insert on it because we were doing cover stitching. And that meant we had already deactivated our upper looper. No settings for our upper looper. We should be on O, which we are. And now we have to thread the cover looper, which is over here and threaded already. But we have to do the right needle. And the right needle is yellow. And
I love the color
coding. Oh, the color coding makes this so much easier. So we're going to go here and we're going to go, the top ones are for cover stitching. The bottom ones are for your overlocker needles. And so we have a little path to follow. Once you do it once or twice, it totally makes sense. And then we're going to thread our needle. And we'll see if Margaret can do it. I think they're right there. Okay, glasses have to come on for this puppy. Unfortunately, because of all these different needle positions, there isn't a needle threader per se with this. There's a manual one that you get with the machine. I actually, fortunately, still can see well enough that once I put the little glasses on, they work pretty good. And I would tell you, if you're a sewer and you don't buy some really strong magnifiers as you get older, you're just going to get frustrated.
That's no fun.
It isn't fun to be frustrated. So we're going to put these tools back in here so I don't lose them. We're ready to go. This is threaded now. It's ready to do my chain stitch. And you can do the chain stitch either on a knit or you can do it on your regular fabric. And we're going to do it, I think I'm going to do it on regular fabric. This white things will show up really well. We're going to pretend we're doing a seam. And I'm going to do it the short way so that it's a little bit faster for us because we're running out of time. Check. We're ready to sew, guys. So we're going to go ahead.
And chain stitch, like cover stitch, always starts and ends in the fabric?
Yes.
Okay.
That's true. So we're going to lift our foot controller back up. We're going to use this nice tool again to pull things out so that it comes out with being out a problem. Look how nice that just pulls right out of there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut that. I cut the top thread so that the bottom thread so that it wouldn't unthread itself.
Wow.
Now that's our chain stitch. You can use this like a regular seaming technique, but the really cool part about this is that I can use this as a basting stitch for any kind of thing that I'm putting together and I want to test it.
Oh, I like that idea.
So if you're going to do a clothing pattern for the first time and you want to just check the fit, what's really nice about this is you can do this chain stitch. It creates a perfectly fine, you don't have to ever take it out, okay? If it works and it's good, it's perfectly fine. But if you discover that there is something you don't like about that fit and you want to change it, there is a beautiful little way to go ahead and we're going to cut one loop here up at the top. And then we are going to, okay, sometimes you have to do it twice. I'm just going to tell you. I unlooped it. And then,
my goodness.
there
Magic.
we go.
So that chain stitch could also be known as a change stitch.
I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. And the thing is that on the cover stitch machines I've seen in the past, the smaller ones, the other ones, sometimes that chain stitch would not work no matter what you would do.
Oh, darn.
And so, I mean, that was one of the reasons I bought the cover stitch machine is so it would do that. And then you'd go and try to do a chain stitch, and the chain stitch, the loops it would do 4 loops, and then it wouldn't make one. And then do 4, well, as soon as it doesn't make a loop, then it pulls out.
Then everything is game over, kind of.
Right, and it just wasn't useful. This doesn't, I don't have this problem. I mean, unless I need a new needle.
Sure.
But
right.
but if everything, I've got decent needles in it, I've got it set up. I mean, I didn't have to change anything, guys. I didn't change a tension. I didn't change anything. This is the way the computer set it up for me.
I love that part.
So if you want to come in and see one of these and actually sit down and play on it, I would love to show it to you because I think you're just going to really like it. It is an amazing, amazing machine. The deal with this right now is on the L890, which is the one I'm showing you right now that does cover stitching and chain stitching, and it does your overlocking. You will get this machine. You will get the big book of serging. You will get the luggage, and you will get a $750 coupon for anything you want in the store. This also has a binder attachment that you can put on it. And that's a little bit pricey, but with that $750, you can buy it and it's like nothing.
That's a great way to do that.
It's a great way to do it. It
Yeah.
has a gathering foot that you can put on this. And you can go ahead. Now, if you've already bought an 890, and I know a couple of you have already done it because you've told us, if you haven't looked online yet, we have the binder foot for it. They're 25% off right now. Now with the binder foot, you do have to get, there's an adapter attachment you have to buy too. It's a separate purchase. But you can get both the binders, you can get the adapter. It will work with both of them. You don't have to buy 2 adapters. Then, and if you have questions about this, don't hesitate to ask me. I'm happy to tell you how this all works. The other thing about it is that there's a gathering foot, there's a piping foot, there's a blind hemming foot. all the ones for the 890 have a C in front of them. All the ones that work with the 850, the 860, those have an L in front of them. So if you have any questions about which foot goes with your machine, do not hesitate to ask us. We want to help you with it. We want to get you all taken care of, and we'll just go from there. If you are thinking, well, I don't know if I'm ready for all of these bells and whistles, and I want actually the Computer Assist 860. That's just an overlocker / serger. It's just a serger, but it has all the computer additional features. And that's where you set it up. It walks you through how to set up the machine. It will tell you how to do a rolled hem. It will tell you how to do just a regular overlocker. And you don't have to get the book out and look up all the settings and try to figure out if you've done everything right. If you want that 860 right now, and I'm going to demonstrate the 860 next week.
Wonderful.
We'll demonstrate that one because I think that people will be really surprised how much that computer is going to help. That one you're going to get the Big Book of Serging, and you'll get the $750 coupon towards anything in the shop, including if you want this table right here is our serger table. And I think somebody's moved the machine. Okay, there we go.
We're good?
Okay, now we're good. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to scare anybody. It sure scared me. But actually, as you see, it didn't really cause any problems. But what's going on here is that this can go up and down. So if you need, did you know this has a free arm?
I think I forget that about this machine.
This has a free arm. So if you're doing sleeves, you know, I was showing you that cover stitch feature. I don't know about you, but every garment I get, I have to generally take 3 inches off the sleeves. So if you're having to shorten your t-shirt or if you're having to shorten your sleeves, you can just set this thing up and go to town.
It really is that easy.
It is that easy. Yeah. And you may not like to do alterations, but I'm going to tell you, you will get your money's worth out of your alterations if you're like me and you have to shorten absolutely everything. I have to shorten my leggings. I have to shorten my t-shirts. I have to shorten my sleeves on every top I own. And this will work for sweaters. It will work for t-shirts. It will work for anything that's knit. This, you can't create this any other way.
Right.
And so if you don't own a cover stitch machine, what you're trying to do is you have to put straight stitch in and you have to use woolly nylon, and maybe it won't be a problem, but maybe it will. So don't forget to share.
Please.
We have this wonderful yard of fabric. Oh, by the way, it's a yard. I don't know that I mentioned that. It has these wonderful measuring tapes on it. We're so appreciative of you sharing our videos, and we want to say thank you. So please let us know that you shared in the comments. Put your, just say you shared, and then make sure you do it on Facebook, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And tomorrow is all about knits.
Yay!
So all about knits, and we will see you then. Have a wonderful day, everybody.